So I've been using my diesel heater in a box to heat my tent trailer for the last couple of years, and it's worked actually really well. But we ran into an incident last year in Banff. We woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and there was a bear trying to eat the gas tank. So my wife said we're never allowed to use this thing again. So I'm coming up with a plan B here on what I can do with this, and it starts with moving the gas can. So I took a diesel can and I bought a pickup tube off of Amazon and drilled a hole into the gas can, and I'm going to test it out by affixing the line to it and then a line to my diesel heater just to make sure that that's going to work. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. And so then my thinking is that this gas can, which is what the bear was attracted to, will reside up here in my storage unit, and then I'm going to string through a bit of conduit the fuel line. I'm going to have the pump up there also because it makes a lot of noise, and then I'm going to have it come up and underneath into the area that I had my diesel heater. I had it feeding. Let's see here. Feeding in through there, so it would sit out here on the ground, and then the hot air would feed in through there. And it would come in through that pipe and then do a Y out into here. So I'm thinking what I might be able to do is mount the diesel heater in here somewhere, and then poke holes in the floor, have the exhaust and the fresh air for the fuel come from outside, and then I could pull this off, and that could be a source for the fresh air that's going to get heated, and then have it feed into here. And then the pump is going to be in the front housing. The gas tank will be in the front housing. We'll see if that works. I saw somebody had wired it to straight to the converter. I'll have to see if I can do that. Otherwise I'll have to figure out something for that. But that's my plan so far. And kind of the thought, my thinking in keeping the fuel on here is that if I have a long enough bit of fuel line, then I could easily take it out of the front storage unit, and by having the pickup here, I can unscrew this and fill directly into there. So, or even, I guess, potentially I could pull this out at a gas station and just fill directly into there. And even if the attaching hose is long enough, then I wouldn't even have to detach it. So that's my plan. So we'll see how this goes. First things first is I'm going to test it by hooking up the fuel line to this, just to make sure that that setup is going to work okay. Okay, well, I got it hooked up. The hose and hooked up to the fuel filter. That might be a problem, because that's not primed. And that is going to empty out. So I may just have to run the fuel pump for a little bit to get this line primed up. Oh, brother. Okay, I've got it hooked up to my Jackery now. And so to prime it, I just need to hit these two bottom buttons together, and it's off. And there, I've turned it on, and you can hear it ticking away now. Let's see if anything starts coming up the line. There we go. Okay, well, that's encouraging. It's doing what I hope it was going to do. Okay. Alright, shut it off. Okay, I guess we will. Okay, let's spark it up. So, before I do that, put my exhaust on. Here we go. If you're curious, it's drawing 73 watts. Okay, 79. This is with the glow plug. Glow plug is heating up right now. So that is about divided by 12, call it 8 amps per hour it's drawing right now while the glow plug is warming up. There goes the pump. Should be firing up any second now. See some exhaust coming out. I suspect it's so smoky because I primed when it was already primed kind of from the filter forward, so I probably put way too much diesel into the unit, so it's got to burn that off. So it's still going just over 100 watts. And as soon as that glow plug, as soon as that glow plug shuts off, then the power usage is just going to plummet. So we were at about just over 100, and there goes the glow plug. So we were just over 100 watts with the glow plug going, and now you can see it's down to 14. It's just the fan. It's the fan and the pump, fuel pump. I think I was playing around with this, and so I really got yeah, I've got it at 5.1 hertz. Way too fast. Bring it down to 3-ish, 2.7. I think that's what I use when I'm camping. Well, that looks like it was a success. So I would have, in my mind, the filter, and the pump, and the gas tank all in my front storage compartment. And then kind of this, that line right there would probably be about 15 feet long, going from the storage unit to where this is mounted inside of my trailer. So here's my new plan. Is I've got my diesel heater here. I'm going to cut this, turn it this way, and it'll feed out into my vents here. So what I've done is I've popped a hole in the bottom. I'm going to go underneath and put my plate on it and tighten it up, and then we'll think about the wiring. Okay, here's what it looks like from underneath. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. So that's gotta go this way. Okay, and then my plate will go on like so. Shazbot. That's gonna have to move. Alright. Come back when this is done. Okay, we got it mounted in place here. Probably need a screw here and screw here just to hold it. But okay, we're ready to start thinking about how we're gonna hook the rest of this up. So I've made good progress. I've got it mounted, I've wired it up, and I've got power. So next order of business is I'm going to disconnect this hose. I'm going to put this on, and we'll get rid of this big guy, save him for some other purpose. And then all that would be left is to hook up the pump and give it a try. So we're getting close. And we got the hose swapped out. It was simple enough. Next order of business is try to figure out what to do with the connection for the pump. I don't think it's going to be long enough. I want to get it so that it extends all the way over to the front storage unit, which is just on the other side of that wall. I just don't think this is going to be quite long enough. So I'm going to extend those wires out a little bit, just to make sure that I've got plenty of room to get it where I want it stored. So here we have the setup. I've got the pump dangling by a couple of zip ties, so it's not up against anything. That's where it makes the most noise, is when it's actually touching something. Down there is the filter. That is coming out from over here to my pickup tube. It's attached to my diesel container. And then the hose from the pump feeds back down underneath. Feeds back down underneath, and it streams along streams along inside this tube here, and it goes over into the bottom of the diesel heater. So I'm going to do something. Make sure that that sits up there, covers the whole hose. Don't want any of the rubber exposed. And here's the exhaust. And there's the fresh air. Hard to see. There's the fresh air. Yeah. So got it installed. It's working very nicely. Cannot hear the fuel pump at all in the storage container that it's in. So this is as loud as it is with this open. Normally, I'm going to put it back together how it would normally be, and we can listen to it again. So this is how it sounds. You can barely hear anything. And this is the bed that would be sitting right over top of where the fuel pump is. I can't hear it at all. Go outside and see if we can hear it. You can hear it in there. You're right up against it. Standing a couple feet away, can't even hear it. I don't even have the muffler on the exhaust right now, so that's how much noise it makes. So I just shut it down, so this is what it sounds like shutting down.